Hi, and welcome to another episode of Rob's Triathlon Tips for Beginners. This will be a shorter video about my off-season training plan for mid-November until basically the end of March. And then I'll have a structured plan for getting ready for Ironman Lake Placid in July. Um, so I'll be sharing my screen, showing a spreadsheet that I made last night. The last time I exercised was November 5th when I did an Ironman on my own at home and at a swimming pool. So I feel like I'm ready to get rolling again. I'm motivated again. So time to come up with a plan. All right, so this is the spreadsheet that I came up with for my off-season training plan. It's got 4 weeks that are color coded that I'm going to rotate through. So each week has a couple rows. First row is for workouts that week, and the second row is for days that I'm going to do some fasting. I like to incorporate intermittent fasting in my off-season plan because my body weight tends to go up in the fall and winter if I don't do anything special to fight that. So if I do some fasting a couple times a week, I can keep my body weight under control. I might gain about 5 pounds in the off season and have a lot less work to do in the on season when I'm preparing for a race. So the basic concepts behind my fasting schedule are that I like to do fasting when I'm going to do strength training and do the strength training fasted. I feel really good doing that, and from videos I've watched, that apparently gets raises your human growth hormone significantly when you do that. So I like to do that. So you can see I've got little X's here where I'm going to do upper body strength training and lower body strength training. I'll be doing those fasted. And you can see I've got a legend to explain the sort of acronyms. I'll also be doing a longer fast on Thursdays every 2 weeks, about 21, 22 hours. I basically start my fasts the night before or after dinner. I don't eat a snack in the evening, and that seems to improve my quality of sleep. And then you can incorporate your sleep into your fasting period, which makes it go by faster. So on these days, I may end up doing about an 18-hour fast. Same thing on every second Friday. I'm going to do between 16 and 18 hours of fasting and then break my fast with lunch. So it's pretty straightforward, and I'm just mixing up what days of the week I'm fasting on every week. So kind of keep my body guessing and keep it effective. Some basics about my plan here. Every Friday I'm going to do some interval training. I like to do what's called fartlek uh, intervals in Zwift. I'll type in how you spell that. Fartlek. I think it's Scandinavian. I don't know which country it's from, but it means it's like speed play. So we'll be doing that every Friday. I really like listening to some music that pumps me up, like some ska punk or something, and getting through a workout, pushing myself. Those tend to be half an hour to 45 minutes, so I'll be flexible with the length of it, depending on how I'm feeling. Every Sunday, I plan to do a longer run. One day out of every 4 weeks, I'll do a run that's 50% longer, so an hour and a half. And for me, that's going to be about close to 16 kilometers of running. Those are the consistent days of the week. Otherwise, Otherwise, I'll be alternating between weeks, between Mondays and Tuesdays, doing upper body strength and lower body strength for an hour. And then flipping what day of the week I'm doing yoga. Wednesdays are going to be my biking or swimming days of the week. So first week I'll be just biking is the acronym I wrote. JB1. Just bike. No particular goals, just riding my bike on a trainer for an hour. Just time in the saddle, just burning some calories, watching some shows, watching YouTube videos. And I'll be doing all my bike training indoors because it's snowing outside where I live in Canada. Every second week I'll be doing swimming for an hour. That's about how much I'm motivated to swim in the off season. That's actually quite a lot for me. Normally I would swim once a week, so I've dialed that back to once every 2 weeks. And I tend to finish an Ironman distance swim in about an hour 25-ish. So that is quite a lot of swimming for me. It's about 2/3 of an Ironman that I'll be doing every 2 weeks. I'm not really motivated to do multiple swims a week and do drills and things. I'm just going to go and swim just to keep that feel for the water, keep that swim fitness. Once every 4 weeks I'll be doing the Alpe du Zwift, and so I have that marked as 2 hours because I pick what's called the Road to Sky course, and that has something like a 20-minute warm-up ride to get to the base of the Alpe du Zwift, and then that takes me about an hour and a half of climbing. It's a really great strength workout for my legs. On the bike, it's anywhere from 2% to 14% incline for an hour and a half, so that's really good training. I don't want to do that every week though, because it is the off season. And you can see that I'm also not doing that ride on a week that I'm doing lower body strength training. No point in doing those two things at the same time. And I'm also not doing the swimming on the same week as the upper body strength training. I'm doing a couple yoga sessions a week, and those will be one of two things. Either a strength focused yoga that will help with my core, my hips, my glutes, or a yoga that's more of a recovery type yoga focused on stretching and mobility. Down the right side here, I've got the approximate amount of hours that this plan will have in each of those weeks, and it's roughly half of what I would normally train, maybe slightly more than that. I might train between 8 and 10 hours on a normal week, training for an Ironman or a 70.3, and 10 to 14 hours on a really kind of peak training week before I start tapering. So this is, taking it easy comparatively speaking, but this plan will maintain a level of fitness so that I can hit the ground running kind of in April when I'm ready to focus and ramp up my training for Lake Placid in July. That's my preliminary plan anyway. And this plan includes a lot of strength work, which is key in the off season. Not only will it allow you to perform better in the next race season in the 3 disciplines, it will also help you be more resilient and be less likely to get injured in the next race season. So you definitely don't want to ignore strength training, and that doesn't have to mean pushing weights. It can be calisthenics, it can be yoga, it can be Pilates, it can mean different things. All of those things are effective at strengthening you in different ways. So, what's not on this schedule is things like going outside for a walk, maybe going snowboarding once or twice, going cross country skiing with my family. The unstructured stuff, the fun stuff, you have to allow room for that in your training plan, and you have to be flexible with it. It is the off season after all. I may take an extra rest day. You got to listen to your body. I may swap out the interval training, the speed running on the Friday for a Tabata session because I just feel like doing that instead that day. So the important thing is to come up with a plan that will set you up for success the next year, to not just sort of throw in the towel on the foundation that you've built in the previous race season. You've got to build off of that, not just throw it in the garbage. A couple other points to make relative to the off season are that I will try to use some more of my coverage for massage and chiropractic work before the end of the year, especially focus on recovery. I definitely have a day bookmarked for rest each week. I'm also very interested in trying out continuous glucose monitor system. You've probably seen athletes with a little patch in the back of their arm, and that's what that is. I want to see how sensitive my body is to different foods because I am getting older. I become more sensitive to things, and see what I can learn from having a continuous glucose monitor, and potentially improve the way I feel, the way I sleep, the way I recover, and maybe even the way that I race. So that's something else I'm going to try in the off season. If you found that video to be useful, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and share the video with people you know who may benefit from it as well. Thank you.